So everything, proverbial and otherwise, has hit the fan with episode 6 of season 3 of Foundation, and we are now clearly heading on a downhill slope towards the final 4 episodes of the season, and everything is in chaos. We get some confirmation of some things, and some other stuff is still in the works. So first and foremost, we do get confirmation from Demerzel that Dawn is in fact dead. We weren't sure at the end of the previous episode because he got sucked into space, but it just left us with that and wondering, did he in fact, die? And she, excuse me, on board Gale's ship confronts Gale and says, moments after he was ejected into space, his nanites ceased functioning, so you have killed him, and she is pissed. And she grabs Gale by the throat. And this is a moment where Gale just now realized that she was a robot. She didn't actually know that because Harry never told her. And there is a really interesting confrontation between the two and a series of conversations that happen, which essentially um, Demerzel uses her robot framework to go into Gale's mind and see the visions that she's been having of the mule. Now, at the same time, the mule wakes up from a nightmare and it tells his one of his second in command, that he's had the vision again, and he finally has a name to put to the face, and they need to get their ships together now. And then we kind of don't see him until the end of the episode, which is a very interesting end. The yawns are coming hard and fast, everybody. I've been up since early in the morning, so it is what it is. Um, Going back to Gale and Demerzel, Demerzel delves into Gale's mind, and this is where, so previously, anytime Gale has tried to see beyond the confrontation with the mule, she's only ever encountered blackness. Like she can't seem to go. So in her mind, she just assumed that that was the end of everything. Um, and she's also never been able to decipher where that battle with the mule took place. But Demerzel enters her mind and melds with her and is able to deduce a couple of things. One, she deduces that the battle takes place on Trantor in, I believe she said, the Great Library. Um, so we now have a location for where that final battle is going to take place. And when Gale explains to Demerzel that if she tries to go beyond that point, she only ever sees blackness, that Demerzel goes back in and discovers that, oh no, instead of just blackness, it's literally Gale in that future dark place is in orbit around a black hole, which brings us back to the weapon. If you remember, Empire was developing a weapon to give to Dawn, which was a black hole weapon that was being developed in secret. Demerzel didn't know anything about it. She may still not know anything about it, um, but it was being developed in secret on Trantor. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that comes into play because I'm assuming that may be the only way that they can destroy the mule is going to be to trigger a black hole, and then if in that vision Gale was orbiting the black hole, what that may mean is that um, Trantor is obviously going to get destroyed by a black hole, by that she's going to create, but Gale may survive somehow because in the vision it wasn't that Gale was dead; it was just that Gale was orbiting space around a black hole. Very, very, very interesting. So this essentially brings to fruition a relationship between Gale and Demerzel, or Foundation 2.0, and Empire, which is essentially right. And we also get confirmation in this episode that not only did Harry know about Demerzel, but Demerzel helped him create the psychomath with her programming. So he knew and used her, and she helped him create this, which is a wild. Uh, yeah, that was wild. I did not see that coming. Um, let's see. Beyond that, we have back on the back on Haven, where we have the vault. The vault is supposed to open today. It is the day of the eclipse, and uh, Mallow and his uncle managed to convince the leaders of Foundation 1.0 to listen to the music of this musician Magnifico. And when they listened to the music, they realized that, oh, we do have this is a way to fight back against the mule. They want to know from Pritchett. They question Hans again. They want to know who his boss is and how he knew about the mule before anybody else, and he refuses to give them up. And they're like, "Well, you can sit in here, and we're going to go talk to Selden himself as the vault opens up." So they all go out to the vault. They go into the vault and um, talk to Selden. And as this is happening, somebody's holophone starts ringing, and it's the mule. And he's like, "Look up!" And they look up. The vault opens, and he is in the sky above them, coming to take control over everything. And as this is happening, they're asking about the mule, and the version of Selden inside the vault is like, "The mule? Who is the mule?" He doesn't have any clue about the mule. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. So Foundation 1.0, including Harry Seldon's um, holographic version of him, he doesn't know anything about the mule. So only Harry 2.0, who was part of Foundation 2.0, only he has anything to know about the mule. And this goes back to how Gaal is an outlier in everything, along with the mule himself. So um, this is important for a couple of reasons, because it means that the mule has now um, assuming, according to the end of the episode, Demerzel tells Gaal, as she's leaving the ship, she's like, um, he's just taken over, and which means he now has access to the Whisper fleet of the Foundation, which means he could be on Trantor's doorstep at any moment in the blink of an eye. And that's sort of where we get the end of the episode. Now, all of this is happening at the same time as back on Trantor we have um, essentially um, Day, excuse me, has arrived at his lover's apartment, and he's brought gifts, and he has her memory stick, and he has this conversation with her, and he tries to tell her that we had a relationship. You loved me, I loved you. I want you to have your memories back. You asked me if I would let you keep your memories, and I said yes, and here I've brought them to you. And unfortunately, she's not buying any of it. She calls for help. Help arrives, and it's her life mate who then blasts Day with some sort of a stun gun. And she's like, "You are the spitting image of the one who came and, wiped out tens of thousands of our people all those generations ago. In no way, shape, or form am I letting you take away the woman I love." And his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, she's like, "If I ever told you that I loved you, it was only because I was afraid of you, because this is my life mate, and I would have never, I could never have loved you." And he's left there, sort of laying on the floor, facing these girls. One of whom has a gun trained on him, who has shot him twice. And I don't know if he's going to make it or not. I don't know if Day is going to survive this. Now, remember, he does have the gift that he brought, which is one of Demerzel's tools. Well, we don't know where that timeline's going to go yet. We don't know where that storyline's going. But I feel somewhat bad for him. But also, we have a greater understanding of who this girl was, and who she was before he plucked her out of nowhere to, you know, be his consort. And I don't know if she's going to take the memory stick or not, but that's going to be something that we see more of next week and beyond. And I cannot wait. As always, I'm having a great time with this season of Foundation. Love to hear your thoughts. Drop them down below. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. I watch a lot of shows, movies, we do games, we do all sorts of stuff. Daily streams every single morning on YouTube and Twitch at 4:30 a.m. Central. We'll see you in the next one.